Good morning. Welcome to This Day. Today is Friday, March 27th. And as you know, our show is a half an hour. And we will be doing this also next week as far as we know, going forward. Before let me tell you who's on our show today. We're going to have Jeff Parker with an update, as we have been doing the last week. And we're also going to have a remote interview with 3 of our residents that I am sure you will recognize. And then we also will have a message from Memorial Care, and then we'll be giving you some hospital resources for the local hospitals in our area. So let's go ahead and remind you the resources that you have for you. We've got the ochealthinfo.com/novel coronavirus. We have covid19.ca.gov. We have the health referral line, which is 800-564-8448. And then you also can go to usa.gov and then the epa.gov. And all of these websites have great information for you to learn all about COVID-19, what to do, what not to do, and also just various things. Now, we also have our resources here locally for Laguna Woods residents, and those are, you can email us at Laguna Woods or info@lagunawoodsvillage.com. We have the recorded hotline that you can call daily, 949-268-2019. And then we have our lagunawoodsvillage.com website, which of course is updated as regularly as we have information, where you can click on the coronavirus update red button in the middle of the website. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at our weather really quick. We are looking at some beautiful sunshine today. It is chilly out there. So we're going to look at about 64-50 today, 65-50 for tomorrow, sunny and some clouds, potentially a shower on Sunday. Monday's looking really nice again, sunshine, and then again, high clouds and sunny on Tuesday. So your weather looks really good. So when you get out there, just go ahead and take your dogs for walks, or you take a walk and keep your social distancing. When we come back, we'll have Jeff Parker with an update. Stay with us.
Hello. RadNet is the nation's largest outpatient medical imaging network, providing thousands of imaging procedures each day. During this time, RadNet remains committed to serving the needs of our communities. Our radiology centers are open and will remain open to treat patients. Rest assured that RadNet is following CDC protocols and taking every measure to ensure the safety and well-being of our patients and staff. RadNet has recently been asked by local hospitals to help provide outpatient imaging services for their patients, and RadNet is committed to supporting those needs. We are available to take your calls and schedule your appointments. To schedule an appointment online, visit myradiologyconnectportal.com or visit our website at radnet.com for more information and to find a location near you. Be healthy and be safe.
Welcome back. Well, we have Jeff Parker in the house today, who's going to talk to us about some things, new things, emails, all sorts of great stuff. So thank you for being with us.
Oh, great to be here, Lisa. Thank you.
All right, so let's start out with, you kind of want to dispel some information that's out there, some rumors. So let's go ahead and start with some emails that you guys have been receiving from our local residents.
And we have been getting a lot of emails and a lot of telephone calls about some information. But one, as I indicated last time, we sent a letter out via email and hard copy letter talking about the assessments and that the need for the assessments to continue. I think some of the individuals that saw that letter interpreted it as, and I was talking about that we would have some increased costs with regards to our janitorial services, thought that I meant that we were going to have increased assessments. I want to dispel that. We're not talking about increased assessments. We're talking about some operational costs in this interim that may go up. But we're also looking at cost savings in areas that we can balance those two out so that in the future we don't have any new costs for the village. But the assessments are going to stay the same. They're not going up. It's just that
Okay.
we're going to have to continue to collect them.
So maybe in the letter, where would they have misunderstood?
I
Just
think
so
in
you
the
point
letter
that
we
out.
talked about some increased costs that were occurring
Okay.
because of things like janitorial services and that kind of activity,
Okay.
new activities that we had because of the coronavirus. But
Got
those new increased costs that we're absorbing into our operation isn't a direct impact on the assessments.
Got it.
The assessments will stay the same. They're not going to change. And I want to make sure everybody hears that out there. The assessments we're just basically what the letter was really indicating is some people had called or written before and asked, are the assessments going to go away because of
right.
shutting down some of the facilities? And the answer is no, because as I indicated, we have a lot of cost centers that are still operating, and we need to make sure we have appropriate money for that.
Okay, perfect. Well, hopefully everybody will understand that your assessments are not going up at this time. So, okay, gate closures. Some people are concerned that if they have a heart attack or if they're super ill, what's going to happen if they live next to those gates that are closed?
So we indicated to you before that we were closing some gates,
Right.
trying to be more efficient in controlling the access into the village. And one of those gates was Gate 6, which is a prominent gate off of Del Calor. And that street's a busy street and a pretty busy gate. But we felt like with Gate 5 and at different access points, it was one that we could look at closing. To answer the public's question or the residents' question is, public safety, i.e. fire, sheriffs, either one of those has access through those gates. They can get through those gates no matter if they're closed to the residents' usage.
Wonderful.
So they have the ability to get through those gates. So if it's a 911 call and they have to get there, they can get through those gates. And we'll continue to be able to get through those gates as long as they're in the closed situation.
Well, that's good to know. And we had done an interview with Station 22, and they showed me the charts, and they literally have for each access, like if you live near Gate 6 or Gate 5 or whatever it is, they have the quickest route and which gate to go through to get to that residence. So that's really good to know.
And we were in communication with them all along, and the city, when we looked at, and the county, when we looked at closing these gates, our security director made sure that we were talking about the right gates, the right communications. So they're aware of those, and we are aware that they can access those gates whenever they need to.
Perfect. Now, we have a lot of employees here for the village, and some people are a little concerned that, what's happened to them now that we have to do stay-at-home stuff. So tell me what's happening with them.
Well, we have two different categories of employees that once we started putting this emergency operation relative to coronavirus in place. We have what we call essential employees and then non-essential. Talk about the essential employees first. These are people who are critical to our continued operations, such as security, janitorial, resident services, our finance admin, our landscaping employees. Those people who are working either on-site, but in most cases off-site, they're working telecommunication-wise, they are still working full-time.
Okay.
They're working 40 hours a week just as they were.
Got it.
That operation will continue to be operating that way until we hear otherwise from the state or the county order that they can come back to the office and work.
Right.
The landscaping people or those people that are out in the field, we have their protective gear that they have, and the social distancing requirements, where we used to van them sometimes to location, now we're separating them out
Okay.
with regards to trends. So we're cognizant of those social distancing with our operations out there in the field, but these are, again, essential services that we are continuing to operate. Then we have non-essential services, and non-essential services were the areas where basically following the state guidelines and following the Orange County Health, those are operations that we couldn't justify continuing to operate and wanting to create the social distancing. So those employees were basically sent home over this last 2-week period.
Right.
And in those cases, what we did was we got together with the board of directors and came up with a plan in which they would get 50% of leave of absence during that period of time, and the other 50% of their time they could allocate their sick leave or vacation. So they're fully paid during this 2-week period.
Okay.
The next challenge, though, for us really is where do we go after April 3rd?
Yeah.
And once we hear from the president and once we hear from the state, are we going to have to continue to have those non-essential employees away from the operation here. If that's the case, then we'll probably be looking at a potential furlough system with those employees. They would be eligible for unemployment benefits, so that would help them out. They would be eligible to use their sick leave and vacation to augment that. And we want to look at a furlough, because what a furlough says is you're still part of the organization, and then we can bring you back once we can get fully operational again without a pure layoff situation.
All right, that's good.
So we're very cognizant of our employees, and we want to make sure that they're safe and healthy. That's number one. And number two, those that are working, we want to make sure they're safe and healthy. And then operational-wise, we want to continue to make sure the village is operating. So that's why we have segregated into essential and non-essential.
Okay, perfect. And then, of course, the stimulus package that was just approved yesterday is still being decided on today. And I'm assuming that you'll hear exactly how things will be worked out with all of the
And I'm hoping that
incentives.
maybe on Monday or Wednesday of next week, we can come back and we can talk about that stimulus package, how it will impact residents in the village as well as our operations in the village.
Right. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. So there are some closed areas that you are still sanitizing. What is the purpose of sanitizing those?
Well, what we're doing is we went through and did deep cleanings in the clubhouses. So those are operations that have been closed, going through and making sure that all of those operations are deep cleaned. That's what the first operation that we wanted to get the janitorial staff in doing. Not knowing when we'd open those babies up. If we can, great, we're ready to go. They've been sanitized, they're ready to go. Now, with regards to our operation areas, such as the community center where we still have some staff working, and over at the maintenance facility, we're doing ongoing sanitation activities with our janitorial group. So they're still operating there. And then what we did, because we wanted to make sure we could be as safe and proactive for the community, we stepped up our janitorial service for our laundry services. We used to do that on a monthly basis. Now we're doing it every 2 weeks to keep the sanitation and the janitorial services up to as far as we could from a financial position, and to keep everybody safe that's using those facilities.
No, and I think that's certainly appreciated, because, you know, I come in every day now, Monday through Friday, maybe the weekend, we'll have to see how things go. And I appreciate the fact that I don't have to worry about who's been touching my desk and things like that. So appreciated. All right, and then, boy, there's been a lot of hubbub and questions about testing, and the COVID-19 testing, you know, it's ramping up exponentially here, and here being California. But we're not going to do any testing of Laguna Woods residents. Why not?
Not at this point in time, and that's because of the directive from the state and Orange County Health. They only have the capability of testing people, and only want to test people who are showing signs of the COVID-19. So if you're showing signs, contact your doctor. Your doctor can write a prescription, and then that would set the process up for you getting tested. So we want you to get tested if you need it. But basically, because of the limited tests and the limited capacity at the hospitals, they don't want to be testing everybody who's healthy. And so that's the reason why they have gone through the process that they've started with at this point in time.
Well, right, and we're going to bring you additional information in the coming days as to what hospitals are doing and how you can find out and things like that. But we don't have that information quite yet. But when we get it, we'll give it to you. Okay, so let's talk about ochealthinfo.com. There's been a change, and I indicated this yesterday, that they're going to start recording numbers per city, but possibly not for our city. So tell me what it is they need to look for.
Well, the health department indicated that they changed their philosophy, I guess, and they are going to release numbers with regards to the communities where they've had cases, reported cases, or confirmed cases. That's going to be on their website starting today. We anticipate it coming out around 2 o'clock this afternoon, but it may be sooner. The interesting thing was when they indicated that to all of the local governments, they indicated that they weren't going to release information with regards to communities under 25,000, which Laguna Woods unfortunately is. The reason for that is, again, the HIPAA laws, and keeping the HIPAA laws had to do with information about individual patients and their illnesses, and the requirement by law that you have to protect those people. So in this case, they thought 25,000 and under, they would do in a grouping. So it'll be interesting to see how they post it. If they say other, and say Laguna Woods area, or how they're going to do that, we don't know exactly.
Okay.
But we do know in the other cities that are above 25, they'll be specific to that community.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait until 2 o'clock to see that, but we'll be looking for that information, and maybe next week we'll be able to dissect
And that's
it.
a good site for people to
Yeah,
go
oh,
to
yeah.
to get that information. And if they have any follow-up questions, they can directly send emails to that organization.
Oh, good. Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you again for the update. Stay healthy this weekend.
You too. Thank you.
And remember, when we come back, we are going to have a live, well, it was a remote, live yesterday, remote with 3 residents that you will definitely recognize. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm John Bowser Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha-Na-Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village television. Grease for peace.
Welcome back. Well, we were lucky enough to have 3 villagers here with us today. We have Cheryl, we have Sheila, and we have Sharon. Ladies, welcome and thank you for joining us today. I know this is kind of unprecedented times, and so we thought we would give it a try. Well, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Right,
Yeah.
the 3 S's instead of the 3 witches.
The 3 shush. We're shush, shush,
The 3 shushes. All right, well.
Fast. See if you can say it fast 3 times, Lisa.
Oh, well, no, I probably can't. So let's start with you, Cheryl. Tell me what it's like being in the village right now.
It's very peaceful. It's very quiet. I see so many people walking who I've never seen walking before. I normally take a 4-mile walk in the morning, and suddenly I'm seeing a lot more people that I've ever seen before. And when I'm walking my dog, and I notice that people are maintaining social distance from us. Not that they didn't do that before, Sharon. They're taking wider berths around us.
Good. Well, that's good. I'm glad they're aware. Sheila, how are you holding up?
Very good, very good. As a matter of fact, I'm one of those walkers that you've never seen before. I have a little stroll. I don't walk, I stroll.
Okay, well, good. And Sharon, how about you?
Yeah. But it's, and then my neighbors have been, talking to each other. We sort of meet at the mailbox, but we stay far apart and we talk. And
Okay.
my neighbor across the hall, who's recent, he's made soup and he brought soup over to me.
Nice. I
Which
do.
was very nice.
Well, I think we have a little
Thank
bit
you.
more. We have a little bit more time on our hands to be at home. Sharon, how about you?
Well, I'm baking way too much. Let's see, I made some bread yesterday, and I made cookies and some other bread. And
Right.
I've just been cooking up a storm. My doggies are very happy that I'm here all the time and walking them more.
Yes, I bet.
And I have to admit, I have had a couple of very small meetings with a couple of people from Old Pros because we're still working as though things are going to go back to normal in the next few months.
Right.
And we're planning to do our musical version of The Tempest for Shakespeare on the patio at the end of August.
Okay,
So a team of 3 of us are still working on that.
well, I think that's good. I mean, you have to stay busy, which brings me to my next question. Obviously we're in our homes a lot longer than we normally would be. So what are some tips? Like, what are some things that you guys are doing to fill your time? And Sheila, go ahead. Tell us what you've been doing to fill your time inside.
What have I been doing?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm in agony. I've cleaned every drawer, every closet. Places I've discovered stuff I didn't even know I had.
Want to come to my house and do it?
Where did that come from? Who gave me that? So I've been dumping a lot of stuff in the laundry room, and it's been going like crazy. So
Oh,
I guess I'm
interesting.
good that way.
Okay.
I'm going to work on the costumes next. All my
Ooh.
clothes have got
Okay.
to be sorted next.
Sounds
So
good.
That's my plan for the rest of this week.
All righty, perfect. Sharon, how about you?
Well, like I said, I've been doing a lot of baking, and I thought I'd be cleaning my house because it really needs it. And suddenly it's more messy, so I'm really not quite sure how that happened. I actually have some construction work that needs to be finished. I had a moisture problem with a broken pipe a few months ago, and it's still not completely restored to its former state. So that's kind of why the house is a little upside down at the moment.
Sure. And how about you, Cheryl?
Well, I've been doing a lot of computer work. Being as president of Old Pros, there's a lot of paperwork that needs to get done. So all the stuff that I've been putting off, I'm taking care of now, and I find myself extremely busy. And then people call me, and it's like at the end of the day, I haven't even watched Judge Judy. You know, it's very disturbing to me.
Well, you know, as we find we're filling our time with other things, obviously, that we don't usually do. But I think people are learning to like it, and they're becoming more accustomed to it because, as you know, we don't know how long we're going to end up doing this. So,
Right.
you know, looking forward.
And I've been working on my book. I've been writing a book. And I've
Okay,
been working on
great.
that as well.
Great. Well,
And I've been doing a lot more exercise. I mean, I've been doing the walk, but I've been doing Pilates on my own. I take an emeritus Pilates class, and now they're sending us online
oh,
Pilates.
great.
And it's great, you know. So I'm determined to maintain my weight and my exercise because
Right.
otherwise I go nuts.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to exercise more than I have in the past.
Right, right. Now, you all have your iPads, of course. And so, are any of you on social media?
Oh, of course.
No.
No? Okay. Well, Sheila, then you will
I
want
don't
to.
like it. I
Okay.
don't like it. I don't want to friend everybody. I don't want to friend anybody. Don't talk to me on whatever
Okay.
it's called.
Well,
You
then,
know,
then you're a,
Facebook.
then you're a good.
Facebook. No,
Then you're.
I've never gone on and I don't want to.
Okay.
Actually, I've been on social media. I've been on Facebook for many years.
Uh-huh.
I was the grad night chair for my son's high school graduation party. And in order to send them pictures, I had to be on Facebook. So I've been on since 2008. And it's been it's been a lot of fun. But the other day, my neighbor just got on Facebook, I suppose, because of what's going on.
Right.
She friended me. I thought that, I find
Right.
that a little interesting to suddenly get
Right.
new friends. And I happen to like being on Facebook, Sheila.
Ah,
And I
Well,
I love it.
to each his own. I just think it does a lot of damage. That's
Okay.
my problem with it.
well, it
Does a lot of
can.
damage.
It can if you're not using it correctly. But you know what the two of you can do who are on Facebook is what I'm finding kind of fun is I've been texting people funny things that I find, which is super easy to do, like a YouTube, things like that.
Yes,
We come across
yes.
all sorts of very funny things. So you guys need to send that stuff to Sheila so she can laugh along with you.
I do it by email. I
Oh,
email
good.
everybody.
Okay.
Stuff I find that's funny that I want to pass on. It's all email. That way
Okay.
it only goes to people I want it to go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so Cheryl, you made a really good point. You said you're on Facebook, and Sharon, you are too. So Sheila, since you're not on Facebook, how are you communicating with your friends and family?
Oh, telephone.
Okay.
You know,
The good old
I've
telephone.
And I can call England and talk for 3 hours, and it doesn't cost me anything. So,
Okay.
And they can call me too. You know. So
Good.
That's how I communicate.
Okay.
You know.
Cheryl, how are you communicating with friends and family?
Am I communicating?
Yeah.
I text, I email. My kids, I don't keep up with them on Facebook. I just text them, call them, and FaceTime. I have a 2-year-old grandson.
Oh, fun.
So I was supposed to go there on April 9th for Passover, and that they're in Bellingham, Washington, and I was still planning to go, and the airport closed.
Oh, wow.
Because it's the closest airport to, I assume it's the closest airport to Canada. So we FaceTime and we talk, and I send them
Good.
funny things. They send me stuff too.
Good. Well, it's the only way we could do it. How about you, Sharon?
Well, I talk to my brother on the phone every couple of days.
Okay.
And I keep up with my nephew on Facebook. And I've got some close friends where we have a Facebook instant message that we just talk to each other all day on.
Great.
And a group of women here that I call the Gang of Girls has a text string that goes all day. Everybody's
good.
talking all day. So,
Yeah,
so
boy.
we're managing to keep in touch.
I think that's great. Now, just in closing, what would you recommend, each one of you take a turn, what would you recommend people do in their home to, prevent them from feeling isolated and depressed?
So I walk outside.
Yes.
Walk outside, and as people go by, just wave to them or something.
Okay.
You don't have to be isolated here. There's always people around. It's not like it's a lockdown and nobody's moving.
Gotcha.
There's plenty of action outside. Just go outside and say good morning as people go by.
Okay,
You know,
perfect.
Give them a smile.
That's a good
all
idea.
It takes. Yeah.
All right. Cheryl?
Well, I think we're very fortunate because, yeah, it's been raining, but it's not raining every day, all day long. And I agree with Sheila. If you just go outside, there are benches that you can sit on and just watch people go by. If you can't do much walking, there are benches all over. And since many people are outside, you aren't isolated. You can sit outside. I'm fortunate enough to have a grassy area in front of my house. So on warmer days, I've been taking my beach chair out and sitting outside and waving. And people stop by and say hello.
That's a great idea. And how about you, Sharon?
Well, yeah, we are so blessed to live in this climate. So if we do have a few rainy days, at least we're not locked up in bad weather, and we can get out.
Yeah.
And yeah, sitting on a bench and people watching is a great idea. At least it makes you feel like you're out among them. I also have a beautiful green area behind my house that I just sit and kind of commune with the trees and the flowers, and it gives me a new spark. So that helps a lot.
All right. Well, excellent.
Hey, Lisa?
Yes.
Lisa, before we close, could I just do one quick little commercial?
Oh, well, okay. Go right ahead.
Well, for everybody out there, you can watch Tales from the Woods on our new YouTube channel, and you can access it by going to Old Pros Presents Tales from the Woods, and you can catch up on all our episodes and our latest episode. And I have to give a shout out to Dave DeSantis, who's been a wonderful producer and editor and cameraman for our show. It's just been great.
Well,
Thank you.
Can I add, and let me add one thing to that. If all goes well, on YouTube next week, for everybody who had to cancel their Passover plans, we will have a Tales from the Woods Passover Seder on our YouTube channel.
Nice.
And everybody can have fun watching us watch each other and behaving as we do on the show.
I love it.
That should be fun, and that'll be on the YouTube channel next week.
I love it. All right, excellent. Well, ladies, thank you so much. Stay healthy, and maybe we'll check in with you guys again next week.
Let's do it again.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it again. Now we know how to do it.
All right, cheers, ladies. Cheers. Stay healthy, everybody.
Thanks, Lisa.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, Lisa.
Bye-bye. Thank you. We'll be right back after this.
As a mother and a wife, I understand how challenging this moment is for our families and our communities. That is why our state is responding at every level of government to slow the spread of COVID-19 while ensuring our most vulnerable Californians have what they need. But we can each do our part, and it starts by staying home. I know this is a big sacrifice for so many, but staying home saves lives. Learn more at covid19.ca.gov.
Are you or someone you know facing financial challenges from unexpected emergency expenses? The foundation of Laguna Woods Village can provide the temporary help you need. Meals on Wheels, adult day services, dental services, medical alert services, and ambulance contracts. Contact the Village Social Services at 949-597-4267 to see if you qualify. Neighbors helping neighbors. The mission of the foundation of Laguna Woods Village.
Hearing aids require a lot of attention. Don't underestimate the problems earwax can cause. Come in and see inside your own ear canals to find out how much blockage you have. Debris like earwax can cause up to 45% reduction in amplification. Your hearing aids may be able to be significantly improved to help you hear conversations clearly with a simple office visit. Every day, patients say, "Oh my gosh, that sounds so much better." Stop in or call us today for a complimentary cleaning and ear inspection. Tell them Stuart sent you.